Are Alex and Spencer reunited? Alex finds herself struggling in her icy tomb, and the car isn't the best place to try to wait out the storm. She gathers whatever clothing she can before bracing the ice and the wind, including letters, a newspaper, and a lighter that she intends to use to start a fire. I know it's a nitpick, but why didn't the couple use the lighter in the last episode? Anyhow, Alex gets frustrated and yells at God, or, really, Taylor Sheridan, for putting her through hell only to freeze to death. Her suffering appears to be coming to an end, though, when Spencer's train passes on the horizon, Spencer leaps off the train as he sees Alex, and he hurries over to see her. Following brief reunions, Spencer hurries to the train while holding her. Fortunately, the train has halted and she is now able to board, but there is an issue. She's seriously frostbitten and she needs to warm up. She needs to warm up gradually because she's not feeling well, the onboard doctor says. The doctor advises Spencer not to get off at Livingston due to Alex's unstable condition. Instead, he needs to stay on until Bozeman, where an ambulance will be waiting for her. Does Yellowstone survive the attack? As expected, they set the establishment on fire with Molotovs, but the group manages to put it out before the entire place catches fire, and Elizabeth does her part to help. There are far too many men for the ranchers to repel, and they attack in their hundreds. Although he doesn't really need them, Spencer does ultimately arrive with additional soldiers. Armed with 2 pistols and a large supply of ammunition, he enters the building and kills every man by making his best impersonation of a tomb raider. Following this, they quickly come to the conclusion that Jack is dead, but the big boss is clearly still alive even though the foot soldiers have left. Spencer gets ready to retaliate after hearing about Whitfield.at Livingston Station. What takes place? Fighting breaks out shortly after the train arrives at Livingston Station. Prior to Bill shooting him dead on the platform, Spencer, of all people, assists Banner's wife and child in boarding. But he also honors his promise to protect Jacob and the others by shooting some of his own troops. Banner's family will be transported to Portland by Jacob, he promises. Spencer is required at the ranch, but Jacob boards the train next and meets Alex. After getting shot in the stomach, Jacob stays around as well, and the two of them go to the hospital together. Spencer gathers the troops, bids Alex farewell, and rushes back to save Yellowstone. Whitfield's men, regrettably, have been waiting for the darkness to cover them, and now they attack. Where does the conflict begin? They finally come to an agreement, and Jacob consents to let Banner's wife and child board the train. Banner responds by stating that the conflict is occurring on multiple fronts and implying that the ranch would be impacted as well. And sure enough, that's exactly what occurs when Banner's soldiers cross the ridge and start fighting. As the group tries to protect the property, Kara grabs the hunting rifle and takes center stage as gunshots echo in the distance. A theory about Episode 7 finale. Alex is stuck in a snowdrift. They made it really clear that the drifts are the only thing that have been stopping the trains. The various train people and train-related conversations have said that the possibility of snow drifts are high but have not been seen yet in the areas they are going. I think this is the snowdrift that stopped Spencer's train and they just happen to be near Alex's stranded car. I'm betting it's gonna be a nail-biting, look over there, type scenario for the audience where we watch Spencer and Alex be 50 feet away from each other but never realizing it until the very last second. Alex will probably be going unconscious in the car and not hear anything as the train stands by waiting for the crew to clear the tracks. The tracks will clear enough and the train will honk its horn to warn of its movement. Alex will faintly hear the train and do a slow advancing crawl out of the car and finally stand on the roof of the car screaming for help, a la Rose from Titanic. And Spencer, who is still in the dining car, will catch a glimpse of her at the last possible moment and run down the car and find a way to stop the train or just jump off altogether. At GTH 321. Attempting that drive in 1923 is ridiculous during the winter. At Dammer Blake. At Dammer Blake. It wasn't winter anymore except in Wyoming and Montana, lol. Reply. 2. At Thefinilex, Z1V. At Thefinilex, Z1V 6 days ago. You only know that because you were told that. Reply. 1. At Etongknown 4024. At Etongknown 4024 5 days ago. No, it was ridiculous no matter what time of year. It was not because of the weather/season/whatever, no, it was a ridiculous idea because of the PPL making the plans to drive it. Rich PPL totally ignorant of the world outside their apartment or house. I mean really, it's 2025 guys, and that drive is still a mother bitch of a drive. We're talking 20 feet deep snow drifts across RDS in Wyoming that are still there when it's almost summer everywhere else, and spans of RD where a full tank barely gets you to the next gas station even today, let alone in 1923 FFS LOL. I was floored when the old lady in Buffalo told her there's no more gas stations between Buffalo and wherever it was, that's the next stop, and Alex didn't speak up and say HEY, we need to buy a bunch of extra gas or we're not gonna make it. Seriously, the three of them all got each other killed. Alex will make it out just cause, but in reality, she'd already be dead cause she'd have never woken up before she froze to death.